Look at me, sure. I'm the captain.
Captain James Howe!
Ahoy there, welcome to Rated Aargh. Thank you for joining us on another adventure as we chart our course through the realms of cinematic piracy. Today, we're setting sail for South Korean waters in 2014's The Pirates. My name is Ryan, and please join me in welcoming my co-captains Christian and Braxton. Guys, how's it going?
So good.
Very
So good.
This was a movie.
It was a movie. Yeah, I don't even really know how to categorize this
I
one.
can't believe that they came onto the boat and said it's pirating time, and then they pirated all over those guys.
I mean, they almost did say it's pirating time. Like, not gonna lie, that's
I think
something
they said
that
the word
basically
pirate
happened.
about 50 times, maybe the most of any.
It's yeah.
That was my Letterboxd review.
They did bring up the word pirate a lot. If you ever got confused,
And now, besides pirate, what was the other word uttered the most? It's a noun, and it's also an animal.
Seal.
Okay. Yes, but no. That's a technical.
Whale?
Yes, this should have been called the Whales. Let me just put that out there instead of the Pirates.
Probably, yes.
All right.
I mean, I
Let's
don't
get
even
into
really.
it.
I'm not even entirely sure what to think about this movie.
We also watched it late at night.
I know, and I don't know. I'm sure that probably played a little bit into it. Let's go ahead and just get right into this one, and then we'll kind of break it down a little bit. So The Pirates is a South Korean film that was released on September 12th, 2014. For some reason, Tubi has this listed as 2015 on their streaming platform, but September 12th, 2014 was when this was released. And, you know, from what I can tell, this did not have a wide U.S. release. It brought in $26,025 on opening weekend in U.S. and Canada, and had a full U.S. and Canada gross box office of $415,775. But outside of North America, The Pirates was a pretty big success as it brought in nearly $65 million on a $13 million budget. It has a runtime of 2 hours and 10 minutes. And as Christian told us last night after we watched this, or actually it may have been today, now that I think about it, this movie actually has a 2022 sequel titled The Pirates, The Last Royal Treasure. And guys, you know, 2 hour and 10 minute runtime, I think, is probably the most glaring issue with this movie, is that it is just flat out too long.
well, Braxton and I just found something out at the exact
On the
same
Wikipedia page.
time.
Okay.
This sequel is a spiritual sequel, and I was like, "What does that mean?" This, you know, the first one was pretty spiritual, if you ask me. But a spiritual sequel means that there's no carryover or any relation to the first
The
movie.
characters aren't the same. They're vaguely similar. They're pirates and bandits and stuff, but it's not a continuation.
And they called that a what?
A spiritual sequel.
A spiritual sequel.
Which, you know, I've heard before, but I don't know. It's just funny.
Yeah.
It's funny that it's called The Pirates, whatever, and it's like similar. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they also probably, which, I mean, it's coming from South Korea, but I feel like maybe they could have come up with a little bit more of an original title than just The Pirates.
Oh, yeah. Did we find out what the South Korean title was?
On it.
I mean, yes, I looked at it. It doesn't necessarily mean anything to me. I mean, it basically just translates to The Pirates or just Pirate, I think is what I looked up earlier. But while Christian's tackling that, this movie has a 57% critic score and 55% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. It's a 6.5 out of 10 on IMDb and a 3.1 out of 5 on Letterboxd. And I mean, I honestly gave this one a 2.5 on Letterboxd, and my review of it was, I think this has the record for the number of times that pirate has ever been said in a movie. Like it just, I mean, 50, 100, I don't even know. Like I kind of lost count. They said it so many times. And then I have a log line looting, and this one is just directly off of Tubi where we watched it. And it is, as a new dynasty prepares for power, a whale swallows the emperor's royal seal, bringing together misfits on the seas in search of the bounty reward.
Sure. Hey, at least the description mentions the whale.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Korean, the direct translation is pirates, bandits going to the sea.
That's very similar to Pirates Band of Misfits.
It is, yeah.
The claymation Aardman movie.
Very similar, which is not even the real title of that one. That one is
No!
In an Adventure with Scientists. So. Yeah, there's a lot of different things going on.
You know
here.
something even more interesting? The spiritual sequel, The Pirates, The Last Royal Treasure, the direct translation of its title is The Pirates, Goblin Flag.
Okay. Interesting. So I know for a fact none of us had ever seen this movie before. I just want to know, just like in general, did you guys like this movie? I know I was tired. I think I may have even sort of like been in and out, like dozing off as we were closing into the end of this movie. But I mean, really, like we were probably an hour in and we were just like, this thing is way too long already.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's also compounded by Tubi, which no like hate on AVOD or advertising. That's when they put ads to make it free up front.
Yeah.
But when you get the like unskippable 5 ads in a row and you're already an hour and a half in,
You're like looking at your watch, basically.
What was the one we got that we were like, who's this even being targeted to?
There was obvious ads for adults, but then there was one that was like clearly a children's ad.
Yeah, it was like, I don't know, had something to do with like a play set or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, who is this even targeting in here? Like none of us have children.
Yeah. But overall, no, I didn't enjoy this movie. But that being said, I think that there were about 4 or 5 like genuinely funny comedy moments. I think the action was fine. The production design looked a little cheap, but it was fine. It was interesting. There was some, obviously like CG scenes.
Yeah.
But its sin is that it's too long. It should be an hour and 30 minutes. And it would be very watchable and fine. But it's too long.
I did like it, but I didn't like it for the reasons that I like most movies. I think I like this one because it was different.
Yeah.
And they had weird camera zooms and odd
Zack Snyder slow-mo.
And odd editing. And we got to see a different side of pirate movies that we don't often get to see. This was arguably one of the more Korean films that we've reviewed on this podcast so far.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I enjoyed, getting to see how one thing we saw is that it was hard for us to differentiate characters and character motivations. And so I don't know if that's just like not a big deal in Korean filmmaking as it is in the US to like get you attached to somebody.
Right.
This one, it was like all action from the beginning. And there was not a lot of exposition that laid the stakes
it is one of those things though where it's a movie and Ryan knows this because I complain about this all the time. This is one of those movies where there's simultaneously way too much exposition and talking about what we're doing and what's going on, but also not nearly enough because I was still confused by what they were doing and what was going on. But they're also always talking about what they're doing and what's going on.
It was caught in that like middle ground. It was like in this purgatory to where like
stuff was happening, obviously, but I don't know what it was.
We would have had an amazing time if the movie was way worse and there were still some of those elements in there, like the whale and just the random inserted scenes and the funny scenes. Like we could have had our best experience so far.
We've said before that a movie is best when it's great or terrible. It's the middle ones that you're like, eh.
It didn't have the like beef to it.
Yeah.
And that might have just been a budget issue. It might be a foreign filmmaking style issue. It had all these cool elements. It had these interesting twists. I mean, just thinking about it just now, I forgot someone almost got their head bitten off by a shark.
Yep.
That had nothing to do with anything.
It did.
Yep. And there was a period there where we went on land and they tried to set a booby trap for this like crowd of people coming. And then this guy, like very obviously terrible CGI, like swings in, and
Oh yeah,
then they
it was
run
very
away
clearly
because
green
there was
screen.
like an army party coming through or something. Like I don't know that there were some times where I was kind of lost. Like I'm not even sure why that the bandits were in the movie at all. Like, no, like, seriously.
I know what you mean.
Like,
But what did they? Yeah.
What purpose did they serve? And you're right. I mean, there was no connection to any of the characters. Like, they could have dropped a nuke on all of them, and I would have been like, oh, hey, cool, the whale lived.
Easy there.
Let's.
I mean, like, there was literally no connection
Yeah.
that I had to anyone on screen. And I don't even remember
Right.
really anybody dying. Like,
No, not really.
I mean, dude, it was, and the only thing that, you know, really captured my attention was there were a few bits that were pretty funny in it.
Yeah.
And there was some cool swashbuckling, people flying around from ships and swinging on ropes, and some of the sword stuff on the ships with them. At the beginning and towards the end were really cool. But like, I don't know, like what is the deal with this royal seal? Like, why is it so significant that they need it back?
Well, we figured it out once we got to the end of this 2-hour and 10-minute movie, and there's titles that come up, and we're like, oh, okay. Why wasn't that at the beginning?
I said, was that based on a true story? And we didn't realize it? Like, what?
Well, what I think is that there's this period, I think it might be one of those like historical facts that's taught to people growing up in
Right, and
South
we didn't have
Korea.
that initial context,
and
right?
it's part of their folklore is that one of these early dynasties was like missing a seal for a few years. And so it's allowed this folklore to flourish. And this movie is just like a really creative way that
Yes.
these artists are saying, well, what if they didn't have a seal because a whale ate it? And that's the entire plot of this movie is that
Right.
it's 1388 in what is now Korea.
I forgot it was 1388.
Yeah.
And let's set the scene. Well, okay, hold on. Let's see if we can go beginning to end. and
I was
flesh out
just
what
about
even
to say
happened
that.
here.
Are you going to try to describe the plot?
So
Because I can't.
we start with a king being accused of treason because he's wanting to end a war. He's like not wanting to invade someone else. And then one of his top soldiers is like, hey, man, what do you mean? We've gotten this far. And he's like, it's because it's rainy. It's too muddy. He comes with his excuses to end the war. And this guy was like, how is this not treason? Then someone stands up for him. That soldier that stood up for him gets killed.
Oh,
Then
yeah.
this soldier has to fight like the top guard of the king outside. They have this really cool fight scene in the rain.
They do.
He
That
kills
was
the
really
top
cool.
guard, and then there's like an attack on everybody. These horses come in, and I didn't know if they're being raided or if that was like just a normal thing.
And that guy is like the leader of the bandits later in the movie.
He
Yes,
becomes the
But
leader of the
that
bandits.
scene, it cuts from him.
And he has anime hair.
Yeah.
It cuts from him being like in that puddle,
Yeah.
and either he's about to get killed or he escapes in this battle. I don't know, but it just cuts to a pirate ship, and I'm like, oh, that was his origin story. It's about to show. We're about to see a logical
Now he becomes a
film cut
pirate or
conclusion
something.
that he is leading this pirate ship. We don't see him for another like 30 minutes.
Yes. And then when he showed up, it was on screen for about 10 minutes, and I go, wait, is that the guy from the beginning?
Yeah.
Because he has like anime hair.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have recognized that guy from the beginning if you didn't say that.
Yeah.
So that happens. He's leading a group of bandits
Right.
on land. We see this backstory. There's this guy with this crazy hair. Comes to a point like this. And he loses a battle. They basically stage this, uprising.
Mm-hmm.
This girl beats him in a sword fight. You think he's dead when he gets pushed over the side of the ship. Apparently not. She ends up taking over the ship and she becomes like the pirate on the seas. Then, don't remember what happens in the middle.
There's a lot of going and talking about where we're going, and
A lot of
it's
weird
like Lord of the
stuff.
Rings, but not good.
Oh, I do remember a whale. There's a humpback whale breach. It launches itself out of the water,
I just remembered something.
lands on the ship, and this was apparently like the Royal Naval ship carrying the Royal Seal.
And this is after she dives in to collect like a Buddha statue that they dropped in the water,
That's the
and the
whole other
whale
thing.
like
They
swims
steal
up to her, and you find out. I don't know if you found out then or later in the movie
Way
that she
later.
has some
That's what I
sort
thought
of
about.
connection with this specific
With the
whale,
whale
that
that
she
she
saved it
saved.
from a net when it was like a little whale.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, there was some Shape of Water stuff going on
So
a little bit.
yeah, that's exactly what it was. The Shape of Water.
Yeah, I forgot they raided. So the pirates raided this Royal Naval ship. There were
Okay, but the
Buddha
whale got a
statues on
thing
there.
stuck in its blowhole.
The Buddha statue
That was after the.
got dropped because they can't have one-way raiding planks. They have to share one apparently
Right.
because right-of-way was not invented until centuries later, I
Of
guess.
course. Right.
Um,
Not until Cars.
so when was that one released?
Like
2006, I believe.
2005,
Yeah.
6, somewhere in there.
Not until Cars. Yeah, what happens in the middle of this movie? Here's the main thing I remember is there's a point about conveniently, an hour and 30 minutes in, where all three ships are on the water together, and it's like it's a climax of the movie. And there's cannon fire, and it's a cool moment where a boat floats in the middle of two other rival boats.
Well, but that guy's
then they
just
blast
dumb
him,
because
you know.
he's like, "Hey, what's going on?"
Right. He accidentally shows up and gets caught in the middle. But then
Yeah.
they fire and there's explosions and it's cool.
I remember.
But after that happens, they then all leave and end up back on land and don't even get the thing from the whale.
We're missing the scene where the
So what-
guy goes and apologizes to the king, and he's like, "I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. Please have me killed. Our boat was hit by a whale, and we've
There's
lost
also-
the seal. Or a whale ate the seal."
And then we made jokes about eating a
And
seal.
then it has a thing, it has our ship's mast stuck in its blowhole.
I don't
Or
know.
was it stuck in the
couldn't-
whale?
I couldn't figure out if it was stuck in the blowhole or if it was
But
stuck in the
in that
whale.
moment where he
Either
tells
way,
the king
though, it's
about
sticking out of it like it's just carrying around this like giant mast with a flag on it. Like it's hard to miss it.
Yeah. And so
when
we do have an identifier of, yeah, that's the right whale.
there's
And the
lots of
whale has a
discussion about
baby.
the anatomy of a whale by the king and other people where they don't understand how big a whale is, and they're talking about the scientific size of the whale.
Yeah, I completely forgot. The main driver of the plot is that the king was
What is the main
okay.
driver of the plot?
I will. There
Tell
were
me.
several
I'm as
vehicles.
curious as you are.
Yeah, so I remember.
Because here's my problem with the movie. I thought the plot was we have to go find the seal and the pirates will get rewarded or something.
Yeah, and the bandits heard about that plot.
They never get close to getting it from the seal from the whale and nothing ever happens.
Yeah, so I think there's money involved, and everyone's like, okay, this is something really valuable.
Yeah, there's some kind of big reward.
It. There's some reward.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's about a 30-minute scene where the bandits are around a campfire.
Yes!
And
There's some good comedy there.
And for about 30 minutes, this guy talks about how big a whale is, because you think 1300s. Well, he might be the only guy that's ever seen the sea. And so
that's
these
right.
guys,
Yeah.
they just don't comprehend it. And he's talking about how its nose is on its back. And he's just describing it in a way that's anatomically correct. But you're like, yeah, but if I've never seen a whale, this would make no sense to me. And I would think this guy is an idiot. And he was just so upset that these guys like did not believe him on how big a whale was and how it operated.
You know, you know what I like about that moment too? There was that moment and another one where I suggested that they just turn the cameras on and let that guy, who I guess is maybe a comedian, just talk and BS and like improv, and like those are the best comedy moments where they just let that guy go.
Mm-hmm.
Because all of his dialogue felt way different than the dialogue of all the other characters.
Yeah, it did seem that way.
It was it was pretty funny, that part. And then there's a side plot to where they try to do some bandit things. I think they fail.
Just bandit things.
They end up getting their own little boat somehow. I don't remember. And then that's when they catch a shark. They think it's a whale. And then that guy is like, you idiots, this is not a whale.
I don't remember that part.
And then they blow up their boat.
You don't remember him catching the shark?
I remember the shark almost eating a guy.
Yeah, and then they shoot it with like a harpoon after that. And the shark then like carries them at supersonic speed across the ocean.
Because that one captain was like, I have the fastest ship on the sea. And you see them go flying by like 100 miles an hour.
And the like crew mate standing next to him is like, I thought this was the fastest ship on the sea.
Oh my God.
But yeah, the shark is like hauling, dude. It is going like hundreds of miles an hour. Like it looks like a speedboat out there compared
like
to
David
everyone
Hasselhoff
else.
in the SpongeBob movie.
And then the next plot point that I remember is that pirate guy with the weird white hair ends up not dying. He ends up coming back and he has his own ship again. And apparently he wants revenge on her. I don't think he wants anything to do with the seal. I think he just wanted revenge on her. Mind you, we watched this. The captions were like 4 seconds ahead of
Okay, every time there's an ad, the
caption
would be
the
delayed.
caption track would keep going every time there was an ad, and so when we got to the end of the movie, like first
we were laughing because
first
it would be
time
like
or two. I was like, is it just me or the captions like way ahead? At the end of the movie, it was like. It was hard to keep track of what they were saying because you're trying to watch the movie and read, but you're reading like 5 seconds ahead. Yeah,
we didn't know
rough.
who was speaking for each caption. So we kind of had to use
that may have had
context
something
clues.
to do with our confusion, but I kind of feel like even if we did
think
see
we
the
probably
correct
would
time to
still
get
be
the subtitles,
confused.
we would still be confused.
Yeah, I think we also would have had a good time if we watched it without captions and just interpreted it our own way.
I've done that before with the movie.
Yeah,
Made up
we could have.
own voiceovers.
Mm-hmm.
I think we could have gotten a little bit more emotion out of it if we did that.
It's possible.
The next thing that I remember
We'll keep that for the Pirates Royal whatever
is
sequel.
this guy comes back. So the girl pirate is after the seal. There is some weird thing where she goes down in an aqueduct and then blows up an entire town.
What?
I forgot about.
I don't remember that.
There's that giant wheel.
She does blow up a whole town.
Oh yeah, I remember the wheel now. Yeah.
And the bandit gets shot in the back and dies. But then you see that.
But then they end up on an island together?
Yes, and then he pees in the water.
That's such a stupid joke
But that's
too.
so we see that.
They basically copied the thing from Curse of the Black Pearl where Jack and Elizabeth get marooned on the island.
Yes. So he gets shot in the back, and you think he just died protecting her. He was the leader of the bandits. She was the leader of the pirates. They were against each other at that time. A giant wheel comes through the town, destroys everything. Like the merchants are like
Giant wheel, like in Dead Man's Chest.
yeah, and you hear that chicken sound effect where they go crazy and like wood exploding. That's in every pirate movie. That happened. The wheel comes through. All these archers hit him in the back, and you're like, oh, he just died. He even closes his eyes and like takes his last breath. And then you see, oh, he's wearing this vest that somehow protects him. And
A bulletproof vest. An arrow-proof vest.
He gets the arrows pulled out of his back. And he's like, we should just beg for our life, I think. Did they get captured at that time? They get handcuffed at some... No.
They get handcuffed and then they get marooned.
Nope. They escape. He ends up getting a ship. They go to a port town. They burn all the ships, and they take the last one. And through the fire, the bandit guy sees the guy that he defeated, right?
Yeah, like his
that
king.
well, but that guy, because I think they're in the town where like all that stuff at the beginning of the movie went down, and the guy that he defeated at the beginning of the movie, is sort of like the head of like the guard or patrol, I guess. And so he gets alerted, and then he comes like sprinting after that guy as he's like running across the boats. And yeah, there's like a wall of fire that separates them like as they come through. That's like the last time you see that guy too, isn't it?
Yeah, and so the bandits end up with a boat. The old pirate guy has his own boat. He is apparently about to battle the girl pirate. And then as they are about to shoot each other, as they are side to side, this bandit boat full of people that are not experienced in sailing somehow slowly pulls up pretty comedically, like right in between them.
Mm-hmm.
And so then they start this battle, and the two pirate boats fight each other on the bandits' boat.
They also like shoot cannonballs into the bandits' boat and possibly through the bandits' boat.
And the old pirate wins. And then he chains up the main bandit guy and the pirate girl. They jump off. They end up on an island.
They fall in love.
You think it's going to be some like enemies to lovers thing.
But it's not really, is it?
No, it's not at all. They're like
They
handcuffed
just kind of pee on
together.
each other.
And they've got multiple scenes where they walk out into the ocean.
Because they're
And
handcuffed.
and they talk about peeing. And then he's like...
That's true.
He's like trying to make waves and like...
Move the pee.
I forgot about this entire part of the movie. Holy cow.
And then...
And I don't remember. I remember the ending where, you know, the guy, the king shows up again and is there for like 5 minutes. I don't remember what happens before that to the actual main characters. How that there is there a resolution? Like
no.
Not that I remember. No.
What happens at the end is
I feel like us describing this right now just goes to show that this movie's entirely too long and follows way too many plot points.
they're on that island and then another ship comes by. And we don't know whose ship it is. It just cuts to another scene, like back on land. And I think the bandit groups are doing something back on land. I don't know. And then we have another battle, and we're like,
oh, really? See, I thought that was like the bandit ship had somehow found its way over to them to.
It never shows one way or the other. It's just a boat.
Yeah, it was not.
I mean, probably it was meant to be, but.
And maybe South Koreans have like the best media literacy on the planet, and this is just so simple.
And we're just dumb.
But we were watching a foreign language movie that had very similar characters throughout, to the point where it was like hard to tell.
Were there too many characters?
Yeah.
Because there was even like 3 or 4 members of the crew beyond the other ones that like showed up and would like say stuff.
And then there's another meeting, but now they're not trying to get the seal. The seal is like irrelevant at this point, and they're just trying to like get revenge on the pirate guy or prevent him from killing. I think the pirate guy.
I think he's trying to get the seal and kill the whale, and they're trying to now prevent him from killing the whale.
That's right.
This is when we have a flashback, and you find out that the main pirate girl rescued the whale when it was a baby from a net. And we know that it's the same whale because it had an X over its eye.
Yeah.
And the whale gets
Brendan Fraser
harpooned and it gets pulled in. I think the calf gets injured and the mother whale gets pulled in.
I think the calf gets shot, doesn't it?
It might get killed.
No, I don't know if it gets killed. I'm pretty sure it got shot with a cannonball.
And then the mother
because
comes.
There's a shot. I can't remember if it's it or the mother. There's a shot of one of them bleeding, and I'm pretty sure it was the baby whale.
I remember something.
Lay it on us.
They harpoon the calf. And that's when the mama was
I
like,
think you're
and
right.
she goes and tries to ram the ship. She goes all Rambo on this
Rambo.
on this pirate guy's ship. And then she rams the side of it. And as she's ramming the side of it, isn't that when she gets shot or something explodes?
Something goes through it again, I think, or something.
Explodes one of her pectoral fins off.
Yeah.
And so she starts bleeding out and sinking. But she is there trying to support the calf. And then during this battle, the pirate girl runs along the side and slashes all the ropes that were holding the calf. So the calf is now free, but it has ropes hanging off of it as the mother is sinking. And I thought we were going to have a final conclusion. The girl jumps back in and she has one final moment with the whale. We don't see anything from the whales again.
Nope.
No, we don't.
It's just kind of assumed that
everyone died on the way back to their home planet.
Yeah, it's just assumed that everything ends in death. I think the pirate guy ends up exploding along with the other guy because he's like, I've got so much explosives on this ship, it's about to explode.
Oh, yeah. It blows an insanely big explosion, doesn't it?
Yeah. And then it ends pretty abruptly after that. And then the end text is like,
yep, this happened. And then they just made a new one. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's too much going on. It's way too long. I mean, it took Christian 20 minutes to try to explain the plot.
And I'm still not exactly sure. I understand what happened, but how many times in the movie, 3 or 4, they're walking and doing something, and I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
What?
I think that the reason that a movie like Pirates of the Caribbean most of the time is successful is because from the beginning of the movie to the end of the movie, not necessarily one to the other, but beginning to end of the movie, there's a clear and defined plot that this is the direction we're going and this is how we're going to get from point A to point B. And this one was let's go from A to B to C to D to E, back to B, over to F. It was all over the place. Mm-hmm. And there's just too much stuff going on. We've talked for 20 minutes about the plot of this thing, and we still don't really understand what was going on. And I think that is, saying enough that's okay, they should have really, really trimmed the fat off of this and made this a clear, defined thing. Is the plot of the movie going to be we have this whale that capsizes this ship that then eats our royal seal, and then we're on a mission to get it back. And the resolution at the end of the movie needs to be we got it back or the whale is gone forever. There needed to be some sort of hey, we're wrapping this up. And that never really comes to fruition. the bandit thing at the beginning, super cool sword fight. I'll just throw that out there. Like those guys put on a freaking show. It looks awesome. It really holds up, I feel like, too, because there was some like CGI and ropes and stuff going on in that scene, the way that they were flying around. And I mean, it really holds up. But like, do you even need that at the beginning of the movie?
No,
what does that really benefit to anything else that goes on in the rest of it? Like, I feel like you could have had that and the bandits and turned like a whole nother movie out based on this opening scene, and then have him go off and become the leader of the bandits, and then come back and like fight the guy that wronged him or something at the end. Like, you could have literally made an entire movie out of just that.
Right.
And somehow
exactly.
it's like not cohesively weaved into the plot of this movie. Yeah, like it doesn't make much sense. It's like they couldn't figure out what to write a script about, and they had like some ideas, and they were like, let's just try to put all of them together. And it just, I don't know, it didn't work. I was bored most of the time. I'll basically watch anything you put in front of me. And like I would argue I had more fun watching The Abode because it was just straight up bad than I had watching this movie that was somewhere in the middle, because this one, I mean, I would say other than, some swashbuckling and some sword fights and things that were going on, I was bored. Like, I really probably would have, if I were not watching this for the purpose of talking about it on this podcast, I probably would have got 5 or 10 minutes in and just turned it off and watched something else.
Yeah. I think it had an extra step it didn't need to have in a lot of places. I think if it was an American movie, we would have started off with an opening scene and you see this royal ship get hit by this whale, and the whale swallows the seal. And then you say that the king recruits a pirate and a bandit hears about it. And then there's your conflict between the bandit and the pirate. You don't need the pirate to have a backstory where there's a guy that used to be your captain that now wants to kill her. You don't need the bandit has a backstory.
Yeah, even that could have been the movie.
Soldier of the king. They should have just started as a bandit, started as a pirate, not had those backstories.
But I don't even know that you needed a bandit.
They should have been an adventure with scientists.
Yeah.
Like realistically, why is the bandit a part of the movie at all?
I don't know. I do think there is some Korean, like maybe urban legend or historical lore that are missing.
Sure. I mean,
because
there may be some context that we're missing, but like, I feel like if this was an American movie, it would have been in development hell forever, and that what they came out with, if it ever got released, would have been drastically different than what we watched.
I think they have a belief in whales that we don't know about,
like spiritually,
like a spiritual
maybe
something. And I think the missing seal is on the. I'm trying to think of something here, but I think it's one of those things that everyone learns about. And it's one of those kind of unsolved. Why was there no
what
seal?
happened to George Washington's cherry tree?
Yeah, what happened to the cherry tree? But there's a bunch of talking in this movie that goes nowhere.
Yeah,
Bunch of blubbering, if you will.
Blubbering. Do you want to hear some of my notes that I wrote down?
Yeah, sure.
Sometimes I do this, sometimes I don't. But I thought some of these were pretty funny. I said Zack Snyder slow-mo, Whale Whisperer, Joseon Real Place, Crazy Hair. Why was the royal seal important? Looks like a video game, but in a bad way.
That was the underwater scenes, mostly. And maybe like a one or two other things, but...
This movie is very slow. Why so much about the damn whale? She freed the whale when she was a kid, ? Is this propaganda, ?
Is this propaganda?
I don't know what for, but whales? Is this whale propaganda?
I was looking at the Wikipedia page for this movie, And I thought this paragraph that they have on there about the like reception of the movie was kind of interesting and kind of funny. So it says the film received mixed reviews from critics and currently holds a 57% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Martin Tsai of the Los Angeles Times described the film as a derivative trove of swashbuckling action, romance, comedy, special effects, and revisionist history, which contains typical Hollywood devices. While Nicholas Rapold of the New York Times notes that neither the action nor the comedy in this action comedy is consistently strong. I would agree with that. And then Frank Scheck of the Hollywood Reporter criticized the film for its endless slapstick fight scenes and the film's special effects, but praised the underwater scenes with the whales, which he says have a hauntingly ethereal quality. How do you feel about that? Do you agree that it's hauntingly
I think there's parts of this
when the
movie that are
whales on
haunting,
screen?
but I don't think in a positive way.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't think they are. I don't really think it is at all.
This film is credited as a turning point for Korean adventure cinema.
Really?
It was
like a turning point in a good way or a bad way?
Yes, and it showed that Korean movies,
like people would go and see it.
Big and 9 million could have been considered like very big budget for them back then for that industry.
13 is what it showed on
13?
Wikipedia, yeah.
That's still
it is credited with helping greenlight other historical blockbusters, primarily one called The Admiral Roaring Currents, which also came out in that time frame, and it broke the Korean box office record.
Dang.
So I guess this one showed that, maybe these adventure things are successful here.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it sold 272,858 tickets during its first 2 days of release, placing second on the box office chart behind The Admiral that you just spoke about. And after 17 days in theaters, it became the third Korean film in 2014 to reach 5 million admissions. So, and when it reached the end of its run, it had 8,665,269 admissions. I thought it was interesting. They keep track of like the number of tickets sold.
Yeah, in like that specific of a.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, consensus on this deal. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's real convoluted in a lot of places. And just, I don't know. It's easy to get lost, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like surprisingly easy to get lost. I feel like there's just so many things going on. Like if you had 10 people watch this, everyone would probably get something else, like something different out of it. But just based on the fact that there's like 15 million things going on in this movie.
Yeah.
Christian, how historically accurate is this movie?
Very. She actually did rescue the whale when it was in a net. No, just kidding.
Where did you find that information?
So none of these characters are real. I think the king is based on the real emperor, or the emperor was a real guy.
Okay.
They did have a lot of trouble with pirates, and I think if we were students of Korean history, it might have made a little bit more sense historically. They were very much vague in alliances here, and we know that the people generally disliked bandits. But what I saw online listed as a hook was like, what if the King's seal is lost and the nation had to rely on pirates? So I do know that what was then the Goryeo Empire had a huge problem with pirates for, centuries. And they often had to do these like massive naval sweeps of the sea to get rid of all these pirates. I did read that the boats were exaggerated a little bit, but fairly accurate. So they stayed pretty
I mean,
accurate.
they looked really cool. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know that if they were real or not, but if they were, like, they looked awesome. And if they didn't, I thought a lot of the like sailing scenes and stuff actually looked pretty realistic.
Mhm. There were not a lot of women in piracy, especially in that area. About 400 years later, there would be a very famous, successful pirate that we had talked about on a few episodes before.
Yeah,
In the South China Sea. But in that time, it would have been like unheard of for women to be involved in piracy. And so I think that's another piece of context that we're likely missing, is that culturally, these people would have been considered the lowest of the low and like the biggest criminals. But also, she would have been in the context of, why is she even here? Like, how does she get in that situation? Because that
Yeah.
is something that historically not should have happened.
When is the golden age of piracy again?
That is much later. So that was 17th to the mid 18th centuries.
Okay. So 14th century would not have
No.
been super
Nope.
big. Yeah. Like, how active would piracy have even been in like the South Korea area
Very
at
active.
the time? Yeah.
Very, very, very active. If there is like any
In the
sort
in the
of
late
more-
1300s?
Yep.
Okay.
The more commerce, right, there was, and like the more connected things became by sea over time, which was happening a lot during that time, the beginnings of it,
Yeah.
there would naturally,
Yeah.
have to be
It's like
anything.
whenever you have movement of
Oh, I know it wasn't coming to America.
Right.
for what?
Commerce.
Oh,
It wasn't a thing in the 1380s. So
it was a thing pretty soon after that.
Yeah.
Like 100
early
years.
1500s, yeah. But
Yeah.
whenever you have travel and things being imported, people will naturally go into that. And it's not necessarily
try
like a
to
career
steal it.
choice, like we should do this. Sometimes it's necessity and survival.
yeah.
But it did happen. We don't know necessarily a lot about it, probably because not a lot was written. But it was absolutely a thing. This was probably that time period when it starts being documented as its own thing. Because before that, it was all bandits. There's a long history of bandits, and they would do the exact same thing. They'd follow these trade routes, find a group of guys, pop out from the trees. And we get to see that in this movie. They pop out from the trees intending to rob somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
But most of that took place before there was heavy sea trade. And so as heavy sea trade came in, naturally you have piracy.
Interesting. Braxton, you ready to take a look at some pirate bingo?
Yes.
Do you get an instance for like every time that they said pirate?
No, it only counts once.
It's probably a
Only
good thing
counts
because this one
once.
would probably skyrocket up the list just for that alone.
Okay, there's a sword fight. There is cannon fire. There's a mention of pirate code, sort of briefly, but it is in there basically, right, of, if we do this, then we need to do it this way, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Would you consider that they're marooned? Did they get, or are they like shipwrecked when they get trapped on that island?
I think that's a marooning
I
because
think they're getting marooned. Yeah.
they were shoved off.
Okay,
Mhm.
I'm gonna say maroon counts. There's a pirate girl.
Yep.
Namely one of the main characters. They do steal another ship. There is an eye patch because the old mentor pirate captain, the guy with the white hair, comes back to life wearing an eye patch. And he has Mike Tyson face tattoos too, doesn't he? Which is funny. They're obviously painted on tattoos. They use a map. They say the word pirate. There is a fight over who's going to be the captain.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all.
No hook for a hand. There's some
No.
swashbuckling in there.
So that's about 10.
Do you have anything about boarding other people's ships on Pirate Bingo?
I do. They do that, don't they?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of all the things we talked about on Pirate Bingo.
Yeah, boarding party. That's one.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's going to get executed. They don't sing a sea shanty. There's no general pillaging. There's no hats. There's no funny terms like we like to say. There's no West Country accent.
So how many was that for Pirate Bingo? Was that 11? Is that what you
Yeah,
said?
11.
Okay. I mean,
So
pretty
that's
good.
towards the low end, but it beats, all the adjacent.
I mean, it beats
ones.
pretty much everything we've watched recently.
But among movies that are actually just about pirates straight up, it's pretty low ranking.
I mean, it might be one of the highest that we've done so far this year.
Yeah, maybe.
We've done some pretty low ones so far. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at our ratings. If you're unfamiliar with our rating system is called the Pieces of 8, and we rank the movie on a general score of 0 to 8 and a piratiness score of 0 to 8. And if you guys want me to, I can start us off this week or this month. So for general rating, I honestly think even this might be too high, but I did enjoy some sword fighting, and there were some comedic things in there that I enjoyed, despite, the majority of the movie not being super great, in my opinion anyway. So general rating, I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 8. And then piratiness, I mean, there is a decent bit of stuff in there. Like, I feel like we've given a few things, a few other movies, a similar score to this that are maybe in this realm. So for piratiness, I'm going to go a 4 out of 8.
I will give it a 5 out of 8 on overall.
Wow, you liked this way more than me.
And again, I don't think it was great at all. I just think there were parts about it that were very entertaining. One, it was way too long.
It was way too long.
If it was an hour shorter, I think it'd be much, much higher.
An hour? It'd only be an hour long.
Well, yeah.
I think 30 minutes
Well, yeah.
is probably a safe bet. Make it like an hour and 20, hour and a half.
But we had, we had some interesting experiences watching it.
Mm-hmm.
I will say it's a 5 because it had some crazy action. Cinematically, it looked really good at times.
Mm-hmm.
It was something new that we don't often get to experience. It was not the same regurgitated pirate story. So they were bold, so I can't punish them for that. And I really liked the floppy sword.
The floppy sword was really cool. Yeah.
I do
I
feel
almost
like it
forgot
would have
about
been
that.
cooler if they didn't add like every single time the whoop, 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 whoop sound.
Yeah.
I agree.
Piratiness, I will also give it a 5. It was fairly accurate at times. I don't know if like the way that they attacked was necessarily accurate for that time. I'm not super well read on that. And also, I don't know if the cannons
Our canon.
are canon for that time period. I don't know how
Did they
many
have cannons?
1300s ships would have been rolling around with cannons.
Yeah.
We could have known, like,
Don't ask me.
if gunpowder was invented in that part of the world, they could have been
Right.
way far advanced with what they put on ships back then. I don't know. That's something that I want to read up on. But it was cool. There were some cool pirate moments, the boarding, the explosions.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it that was not about pirates, but I will give it to them on actually having some guts to do some of this.
I'm going to give this on quality. I hate to do it to him. I'm going to give it a 2. Because I think it's the sin of it's not great, but it's not bad either. It's just so middle of the road. But it had some good moments. For piratiness, I'm going to give it a 6 because I think it's pretty well set in that department. It just didn't basically the parts didn't add up bigger than to make a better whole. Basically, it had the ingredients, but it just didn't turn out well.
I guess my question to you guys is, before we close this out, is this a pirate movie? I mean, it's literally titled The Pirates, but I mean, I just kind of want to go back to the definition of piracy, which is the practice of attacking and robbing ships at sea.
Okay, fine.
Is this a pirate? No, I'm serious. This is a legit
right.
question. Is this a pirate movie or is this an adjacent movie?
I don't. It's
because we went into this blind, like it's literally called The Pirates. You would think this is a pirate movie.
I would call this a whale movie, Your Honor.
Well, that's not my question.
No, I know.
My question is it a pirate movie or is this an adjacent movie?
It's a pirate movie.
Who's Jason?
Adjacent.
An adjacent movie. It's on the dang line. It might as well be an adjacent, but I think it is a pirate movie. But really,
because it establishes your main character as a pirate.
Yes, but you're right, Ryan, in that the actual doing pirate stuff they don't do. But that's true for a lot of our movies, even the pirate ones.
I know it is.
But that's what makes it hard to say.
I'm aware. I mean, how much attacking and robbing ships at sea does Jack Sparrow realistically do? And yet those are like the stereotypical, this is a pirate movie. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I mean, I was legitimately just curious what you guys thought because, I mean, I could almost say no. Like, this is not really a pirate movie. There's no piracy that's actually going on. Just because they are called pirates does not necessarily make them
not
pirates.
A pirate you make.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it could probably go either way. I'm fine with it being a pirate movie. It doesn't really matter a whole lot for the grand scheme of things.
Side quest at heart.
Yeah, but I was just curious.
It is important, I think, to keep asking that question, though, right? As we go through these.
Yeah. Should this movie be inducted into the Rated R Pirate Cinematic Universe? The Hall of Fame.
No, but maybe the whale should. No.
No, I don't. Yeah.
I think probably no.
The whale should not. Although I did like Brendan Fraser.
He's doing a new Mummy movie.
They better. They're
officially confirmed to come back for a Mummy 4.
They better.
If anything, add the floppy sword.
Oh, yeah. Is that something that would have been used very often?
Maybe.
I've never seen that in a movie or anything other than this.
I think the point was that it like could bend and whip really fast. And could cut.
Yes. I mean, the way that she uses it in the movie is almost like if she was using a regular sword, she could not, because of the way that the other guy was fighting her, get at an angle to where she could, slice his neck or whatever that she ends up doing. And the floppy sword does allow her, because it's hard to defend for one thing, I think. Like, you don't have just a stiff blade coming at you. Like, the thing is all over the place. But then I think, like, she almost uses it in a way that, like, kind of bends it around his sword a little bit. So, I don't know. I'd be okay inducting that in. That was really cool. I've never seen that before.
I would abduct the guy that told the story around the campfire. The guy that kept having those comedic
Abduct or induct?
He said abduct. I was like, does that mean take out? You're gonna steal him out?
He said something that
I may have said abduct too on accident, but yeah.
I think he said something and my mind just turned off.
Let's
oh my
abduct
gosh!
Somebody into the Hall of Fame. You gonna steal him and put him in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I mean, I think the floppy sword could definitely make a case for going in. All right, well, it's almost time for us to take this ship to port, but before we do, we wanted to make sure you found our proverbial message in a bottle detailing next month's movie of choice. So coming December the 10th, we're once again taking a step back in time to 1954 to watch 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Oh.
So that'll be fun. Have you guys seen that before? I have not.
I read the book when I was a kid.
I think there was a movie I saw. This one's 54. I think I saw there was a silent film in like 1916, maybe. That was also, I think it was 1916. It was like quite a bit earlier.
early.
That was based on the book because the book was written in 1870 something, I think.
Yeah, like Victorian era. That's mostly when Jules Verne stuff was written.
So yeah, that one will be a lot of fun to look at. Get to watch 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I think that's going to do it for this month on Rated Aargh. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We hope you enjoyed the Pirates, and we can't wait for you to join us on our next adventure.